I was getting ready to start and I had not put my microphone in front of my face. Ouch! Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. We're using the built-in camera on the computer today because my good camera is I forgot to connect it, and here we are. But the important thing is that here we are in sync, and we are doing good. And today is Tuesday, July 12th, and it's hot and humid, and I feel schwitzy, but I am so very happy to be here with you. As always, Coffee and Headlines is all about connections between us and the news that we learn from our city, our state, and our country, connections with one another, connections with some of the best things that we have here in Puerto Vallarta. And why do we do this? Because it feels good. It feels good to be connected here in the city we call home as a community of English speaking locals. So, today we have a ton of news. We have a lot of news today for a change. So, we will go through a bunch of headlines. Then, as always, we will look at your comments and we will welcome anyone that is joining us for the first time. All you have to do is write the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very glad to welcome you to our cluster. Um, and we also have this idea that if you have something really important that you wish to ask or you wish to know about, you may want to consider adding a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and that way we will not miss it. Now, this is important. Once again, I have received a number of interesting queries and questions on my personal incoming email page. Um, and I love hearing from everybody. I love hearing from folks, but you'd be surprised at how unknowledgeable I am at the end of the day, such that if somebody writes me and says, well, do you know where I can find hexagonal bolts to connect point A to point B? Chances are that I don't know what is going to be the answer to your question. But the beautiful thing about this community is that we get together and there is so much knowledge about you. And so, what I'm trying to say here is if you have very specific questions, please don't think for a moment that I am that smart. Instead, consider coming into the broadcast, asking live, because here is where all the good stuff happens. Here's where all this vast amount of knowledge that the cluster has comes to good use. So, there you have it. Those are my 2 cents. And now let us just dive into the news and take it from there. Okay, so we just reported, I think it was, yes, it was yesterday, we reported this very strange headline that summer vacationers were now noticeable here in Puerto Vallarta as of this past weekend. And I kind of laughed because, I mean, people have not stopped arriving. And given the fact that the city has had such a great tourism season nonstop for the past few months. And this headline that I'm sharing now confirms this notion. Apparently, during the month of June, Puerto Vallarta's international airport registered a substantial increase of 36%, 36.3% in commercial airline traffic when compared to the same month in 2019, making it the second month in a row to register an increase in what is traditionally regarded as a low tourism period. This is not bad at all. We actually welcomed 230,900 passengers on national flights last month and 273,700 passengers in international flights. That's a ton of people when you consider that these people arrived in our city during the month. I mean, that's almost twice as many citizens as we have in Puerto Vallarta living here year around. So I think that's a pretty substantial number. So when they say, summer tourism is now noticeable, it's kind of hard to believe. According to Jalisco's Secretary of Health, there are now 7 monkeypox cases in Puerto Vallarta, the latest being a 61-year-old man that arrived in town from Canada on June 23rd and began presenting symptoms on July 1st. Authorities have a call center where you can learn more information about the disease and know to look for the proper symptoms if you think you may have monkeypox. But again, there's not that many cases. This is not something to get our panties in the usual place. That said, given the latest wave of coronavirus cases, the number of people taking COVID tests has skyrocketed. The number increased by 50% actually since the removal of mandatory use of face masks in closed spaces. According to the latest update from the Secretary of Health, 3,501 tests have been taken during this month up until 2 days ago. So that would be up until July 10, whereas during the same period in May, only 2,034 tests were taken. And of course, these numbers do not reflect the home tests that one can purchase at a local pharmacy. Authorities also announced that the peak of the current COVID wave is expected to take place in 2 to 3 weeks, after which the number of cases will begin to decrease. Meanwhile, authorities obviously recommend the prudent use of the prudent following of all the current health-related indications, such as face masks, safe distancing. You know what we're supposed to do. Now, here's some good news. Jalisco Governor Enrique Alfaro was quite pleased with this news item, and he even published it in his Facebook wall. After 10 years of knocking on doors, the United States has finally approved importation of avocados grown in the state of Jalisco. This is absolutely great news. Where is my applause when you need it? This actually happened after United States inspectors certified over 8,000 hectares of avocados in over 600 different orchards. Now, avocado exports are not particularly new to our states, as Jalisco exports over 113,000 tons of the fruit to 30 different countries, including Canada, Japan, Spain, Belgium, France, Uruguay, and many more. So, why, if we have these good news, why is Governor Alfaro, our governor, the 5th worst ranked governor in the country? This was a question that was posted to me yesterday by our friend Kelly Casey, who forwarded me this article and asked me that same question. I mean, this is Governor Enrique Alfaro, who is leading green projects in the state with a huge network of electrical buses and bicycle paths in our capital city of Guadalajara. This is Governor Alfaro, who spearheaded proactive decision-making at the beginning of the COVID pandemic that placed our state among the top best suited to recover from the pandemic. This is Governor Alfaro, who is constantly posting on social media of the state's accomplishments in job development and international commerce relations. So why is he so unpopular? Well, Do allow me to speculate, as I am not an expert on these matters. But in case you're wondering, there are several areas in which our governor gets a lot of criticism, and I'm going to outline them here to the best of my questionable knowledge. Number one, and in no particular order, number one, there's a huge um, squabble, feud, disagreement, maybe, between Governor Alfaro and the Guadalajara University. By the book, universities are supposed to be autonomous, public universities. But Governor Alfaro has repeatedly cut the budget destined for um, Guadalajara University and has directed that budget elsewhere, much to the chagrin of the university leaders who claim that Governor Alfaro has uh, challenged their autonomy. Alfaro, on the other hand, argues that among the leadership in the university, there are a number of private interests. So the money that is destined for the Guadalajara University, is it really for education, or is it to satisfy a few individuals' private projects? And this is one of the top items of discussion that go on with Governor Alfaro. So I'm not surprised that a lot of people will not give him good notes, because the university has been very smart at deploying campaigns that question the leadership of our governor, campaigns and marches and all kinds of things. So that's one area in which Governor Alfaro has left some things to be desired. Another very important area in which Governor Alfaro repeatedly fails to get as good marks as people would expect him to has to do with security, particularly the security of women. In the state of Jalisco, the number of kidnappings, the number of murders continues to be very, very high. Governor Alfaro would argue that the numbers in our state are comparable to the numbers in other states, but a lot of people would argue that that is not the case. So, do I have an actual answer as to why Governor Alfaro is not ranked more popularly? I don't. I personally like the guy. I think he's done a number of things. Oh, and he's grumpy. You know, it's funny because whenever he talks in public, even though he smiles and he's got this mensch thing about him. He's bonachon, we would say in Spanish. He looks like a good guy. He has a certain demeanor that makes him look like he's grumpy and angry all the time. So I don't know if this has anything to do with his popularity or not, but that's as good of an answer as I can come up with. Moving right along to other headlines that we have, and before we move on to our leisurely stuff, yesterday morning, Mexico President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador and his wife Beatriz Gutierrez Müller flew to Washington, D.C. on a commercial plane to meet today with U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House. I'm going to defend our migrants, our immigrants, he said. And of course, he has a rather busy agenda in Washington, starting with breakfast with Vice President Kamala Harris at her residence and a meeting at 11 a.m. at the White House with U.S. President Joe Biden. Um, Lopez Obrador will then lead two tributes, one for former U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt and one for Martin Luther King at his monument. Tomorrow, Lopez Obrador will meet with a group of Mexican business leaders and U.S. dignitaries. And meanwhile, his wife is scheduled to meet with First Lady Jill Biden. We don't know. Well, I'm sure somebody knows. I don't know when he returns, and I don't know what he will report, but I am sure we will learn more details about the success or of this trip um, later on this week. So now let us turn over to the weather, and then we continue with a few other headlines. The James Webb Space Telescope just confirmed how insignificant humanity really is in the grand scheme of things, says Carrot Weather. Carrot Weather also says that it is 27 degrees right now, feels like 31. Humidity is at 80%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 81. Our forecast for today says humid and partly cloudy with a high of 30 and a low of 25. Tomorrow, Wednesday, possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 30 and a low of 25. And Thursday, rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 30 and a low of 24. That is our weather for the next few days. And I have a few other headlines that I can share with you. The first one being maybe, just maybe, you would like to become a city bus driver. If that is the case, you may want to know that there is now a school for city bus drivers in the city of Guadalajara. A dedicated school has opened, and those interested in the job will have to attend 250 hours worth of instruction that includes practical, security, and legal aspects of the job. This is happening in response to a need to fill in approximately 500 bus driver jobs available in the city of Guadalajara. There is no indication in this article as to whether existing or current bus drivers will have to go through this certification or not to continue working, or whether drivers in other cities, such as Puerto Vallarta, will be expected to go through certification as well. My friends, it is time to hold on to your pets if you are walking along the Pitillal Riverside Walkway, as a new crocodile has been sighted living in the vicinity. And there was a video posted online by Vallarta Independiente. I didn't bring it over, but here are the still photographs of this lovely little crocodile just gently sauntering from one side of the road to the other. You know, they have a certain they like pets. So if you're walking down this walkway, please make sure that you keep your eyes open and that you keep your pets on a leash. And the last item for today has nothing to do with anything, and I bring it over here just to have a smile on your face. What on earth possessed Sir Anthony Hopkins to upload a video to social media titled Sunday Summer Vibes, in which he dances to the popular Colombian cumbia La Pollera Colorada? We will never know. But Sir Anthony did this and he went viral. This cumbia is considered one of the most popular cumbias in Colombia's folk music. The song was composed as an instrumental in 1960 by Juan Bautista Madera Castro with lyrics by singer and composer Wilson Choperena. And if you want to have a nice smile on your face, I recommend that you take a look at this from the show notes and you watch Sir Anthony Hopkins doing his thing at a very royal pace, I may add. It was actually quite fun to watch. And where is this? Thank you very much. Now, let's take a quick look at your comments just to see what everybody is up to this morning. As always, I very much appreciate your good mornings from here, there, and everywhere. Uh, Luisa says, we love visiting locations that you share in your videos. Everyone knows you. That is frightening for me. But I suppose everybody, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Let's see. Raymond Dunn is back in the saddle. Yes, Raymond is back. This is good to see. Uh-oh. Somebody started shopping at Amazon. Sherry Cooper. I need to purchase a couple of accessories for the new computer. So I'm going to be taking a look at Prime Day sales, although, you know, we have to be careful with our spending. Let's see what else. Doug says, we are behind everyone else. We are binging on Downtown Abbey now. We're hooked. Oh, Downtown Abbey is fun, fun, fun. Absolutely fun. Let's see what else we have. Did I see the images from the Webb telescope? Yes, I did, Terry. I get really excited about the space stuff. I didn't want to overwhelm everyone. And you know, it is really wonderful. Paula says, my camera is focusing on my microphone and not my face. I suspect, Paula, that is because my microphone is a lot prettier than me. But it's okay. I sure hope that the focus of the camera is not preventing you from connecting with the city or with our fellow cluster members. Let's see what else we have. Detroit, Michigan is hot. Don't they make a bunch of cars over there? I'm not sure, but Ramona, it is great to see you this morning. Da 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 da. Raymond reports on a completely full flight yesterday from Orange County, California. I am not surprised. Well, I'm surprised. I appreciate that you're surprised, Raymond. There seems to be a ton of people arriving, and that's just the way it is. I think it's a beautiful thing. Let's see. Ay, 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 ay. Can't disagree with the snarky weather today, and that telescope stuff is incredible. See, I'm so happy to read this, Meggie, because I'm in awe of the universe. And if we actually do go somewhere after we die, I want to go wherever I can get some answers as to what is going on. Uh, what is the river where they closed down the streets on Sunday? It is not a river, Colleen. It is a street on Fluvial Vallarta. It is, I forget the name, Grandes Lagos Avenue. That's what closes on Sunday. So it is not a river, it is a street. Let's see what else. Do. Mary says we'll be back in less than a week, hoping for some good storms. That makes two of us. We love the storms. And Barbara makes me jealous in the best possible way, sending cool mountain breezes from San Miguel de Allende. I have not been to San Miguel since before the pandemic, and it is one of my favorite places to visit in Mexico. And I find myself really having to fight the urge to go back because there are so many other wonderful places in Mexico that I want to visit. Let's see. Oh, what a wonderful suggestion, Charlotte. Just a thought, but using Prime Day to help a local teacher out with pencils and whatnot is a great idea. Resources are lacking in area schools. So if you have a spare few bucks, it's a refreshing change of pace from area teachers having to foot the bill. Charlotte, um, if you happen to know of a particular school that has a wish list, let us know because this is important stuff, and we would love to help. Mark asks, didn't get a notification today. Do I need to change any settings? Hopefully not, Mark. Those notifications are sent by Facebook, and of course, Facebook dances to the beat of their own drum, and I certainly hope they haven't changed anything. Let's see what else. I think we are pretty much at the end of today's broadcast. And as always, I want to thank you for being a part of the broadcast, for all your wonderful questions, and for all your wonderful comments. As always, we will go out and about and explore a little bit of the city today. Maybe we'll have some interesting photos and video to share with you tomorrow. At least that is the intention. Between now and then, stay happy, stay kind, stay focused, unlike my camera that chooses to focus on my microphone and instead of me, um, and stay in touch. That is always nice. Have a great day.